Chavra, let's start again. Baruch Hashem. They say, Kol haschalas kashais. Let's hope that will be the haschalis kashais. It's called the mute button, Rabbi. You just got to press it. Yeah, I got it. So we begin 5 minutes of Bitachon. We mentioned that this has been an offshoot of 5 minutes of Tefillah. 5 minutes of Tefillah was an invention of the whole purpose of Mincha, was that during the workday, we connect to Hashem in Tefillah. So we spent, I think it was 130 some odd shiurim of 5 minutes, short snippets, those who joined live, those who listened afterwards. An incredible chizik as we learned a little bit and hopefully we grew and we connected a little bit more to Hashem. And now we segue into Bitachon. Bitachon is as well certainly something which is very apropos for the office, for the daytime, the hustle and bustle of life. You can never get enough Bitachon. We're going to be learning it with the Bais HaLevi's Maimer on Bitachon, an incredible job by Rav David Sutton over here. We're going to focus also on his footnotes. If anyone is local and would like a copy, please reach out. I don't know if we can ship it to Eretz Yisrael, but please. But they have them in Eretz Yisrael even. Baruch Hashem and B'siyata D'Shemaya. We're going to also do something a drop different. We're going to try to read a little bit inside, 1 or 2 lines a day, because the words of the Bais HaLevi, hopefully his words will penetrate, and then we'll elaborate via the English, the footnotes, etc. So, with that lengthy introduction times 2, let's begin. Says the Bais HaLevi, Chayvas HaBitachon. The obligation, and really that word, chayva, is what we're discussing today. That bitachon is a chayva, is an obligation. Ba b'psukim harbe, says the Bais HaLevi, it comes from many psukim. Rabu mispar, too many to count. He doesn't mention any psukim. Fascinating. Usually you say, there are so many sources, and you tell us a few. He doesn't say any. On the bottom of footnote 2, it sends you to the back, and they quote 5 of them, which maybe we'll mention one of them in a moment. And says the Bais HaLevi, Mi shemechaser boy, if you're lacking in it, avera gidoila he. Very strong words. And I'll just be honest, when I read this the first time, my first thought was, what? Bitachon is an added. Bitachon is something nice. Gives us yishav hadas, makes us calmer, more tranquil, more serenity in life. And it definitely does all of that. But to tell me it's a mitzvah, it's a chayva, it's an obligation. And if you don't have it, it's an aveira. It's a great sin. That's very heavy. So firstly, before we go to Rav David's son, incredible note in the bottom, such a beautiful mashal. Let's just point down in the back over here, one of the sources. He quotes from the Smak, that the Smak, the Sefer Mitzvahs HaKatan writes, you know what the source of Bitachon is? What we're going to be asked. One of the questions we're asked, Lachar Me'av Esrim after 120 is, Sipisa liyeshua. Did you yearn for salvation? And explains the Smak, in order to yearn for salvation, you have to be aware that Hashem is holding your hand. You have to be cognizant that God is that which gives you the salvation. And he learns that is a source, that there's an obligation to believe, and not just believe in Hashem, as we'll see that's emunah, but more to have faith and live with Hashem, which is bitachon. And the truth is, in footnote A over here on the bottom, he points that out, that it's not just a mitzvah. But Chavakuk, the Gemara Makkas teaches us, Chavakuk came and put the entirety of Torah on Sadik b'munaso yichyeh, which the Vilna Gaon explains. What does it mean to live with emunah? Living with emunah is bitachon. Knowing God runs the world, but then bringing that macro into the micro, into the daily, into the minutiae, into my hand, into right every moment, that is bitachon. The entirety of the Torah, says Chabakuk, is boiled down into bitachon. And we'll conclude with this wonderful mashal that Rav David Sutton teaches us. Imagine there's a young and experienced surgeon, and the head surgeon tells him, listen, you're going to have surgeries, you're going to have a problem. But don't be silly, don't be juvenile. Call me at any time of the day. If you have any issue, please call me. And the young surgeon, first day of the job, has a surgery, and he's in the middle, and of course he's unsure. He doesn't know what to do, and he thinks, I should call I'm not going to bother him. I'm going to make a fool of myself. And he goes and he does the surgery on his own. And of course, what happens? What happens is, unfortunately, there's a terrible ending. And the head surgeon, the director, says to him, I told you you should call me. And then he says, I didn't just tell you that you have the option if you want. I command you to call me. Says our loving Father, says God, HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself says, it's not an option. If you want, you could have bitachon. Absolutely not. I command you. You must live your life with me. The beautiful words of a loving father who doesn't want to see his child kill a patient on the table, who doesn't want his child to do something wrong. He commands him. You must call me, of course, for your own benefit. B'siyata d'shmaya. We'll pick it up from here.